Good morning, happy Easter, and welcome. Special words of welcome to those who used to live here and live away and have come back to Jackson for the holiday, for out-of-town relatives and friends who are visiting, and for those who just said, you know what, it's Easter Sunday and I'm looking for a place and people to celebrate with. You are welcome here, even if you can't find a seat. God bless you. If you had to measure whether people care more about Christmas and Easter, I think there's probably a good reason why many people seem to care more about Christmas. And yet, in the Catholic Church, our history, our mystery, and our tradition tells us that Easter is of far greater significance. It didn't seem that way on the first Easter day because news of the empty tomb was not met with rejoicing. Just as the death of Jesus on the cross didn't have the apostles saying, "He did it. He did exactly what he told us he was going to do." Instead, Good Friday was met with devastation and grief, and the empty tomb was a source of mass confusion. The Sanhedrin were saying that the apostles stole Jesus' body to pretend he had risen from the dead. The apostles feared that the Sanhedrin had stolen Jesus' body so that they could mock him in death as they had done in life. It would take the Holy Spirit at Pentecost before the apostles finally conquered their fears that those who killed Jesus were next coming for them. And yet, even though that first Easter was a little bit of a dud when it came to the celebration aspect, it certainly was the hour of Jesus' greatest triumph over sin, Satan, and death, changing everything for everyone forever. By the next Easter, they'd figured it out. And ever since then, the birth of Jesus is celebrated not only on Easter, but every single Sunday throughout the year. Every year is called a Little Easter, a solemnity and celebration of Jesus' resurrection. By contrast, however, the birth of Jesus wasn't celebrated at all. We have no evidence of any liturgical celebration of Jesus' birth until more than 320 years after Jesus died and rose from the dead. The birth of Jesus was a miracle, yes, reminding us that he was born, but for what purpose? To die. Born to die that he might free us from the chains of sin, Satan, and death. Even though the church says Easter is of far greater significance, still we feel that pull. We like to make merry all December long. Why is Christmas so much near and dear to us? I think the answer is pretty obvious, because we get gifts. Yes, there's something in it for me, finally under that tree. Well, we have to reevaluate our thoughts about Easter, because today we are reminded that we are in fact given a gift. We just haven't necessarily unwrapped it yet. And it's not a gift that we will find under the Christmas tree. It's the gift that on Good Friday was hanging on the tree, and that is God in the flesh, crucified for our faults and failings, so that we have a chance to be forgiven, so that we have a chance to become forgivers, so that we have a chance to share in his great victory, to live again and forever in heaven. And this isn't it. One thing this life teaches us: this isn't heaven. We are not home yet. We are pilgrims on a journey. And thank God for God. Thank God for that. Because if this was heaven, we're in big trouble. Because this world is stifled by sin and selfishness, sadness and sickness, death, disaster, tragedy at every twist and turn. People turning against each other. Love that is given and taken away. And yet, the gift that has been promised to us is the empty tomb. Jesus' story did not end in death, and neither will ours. What appeared to be the hour of his greatest defeat was in fact the hour of his great triumph. With his holy hands nailed to that cross, once a symbol of torture, he turned it into a key that he plans to use to unlock for you the gate of heaven, to gain access for you to the Father's house, so we can all find happiness in heaven, the only place where everlasting happiness exists and can never be taken away. That's what God is doing to get you into heaven. That's God's plan to get you to heaven. What's your plan? That's really what we have to ask ourselves, not only on Easter Day, but every day. What am I doing to get to heaven? How am I storing up for myself treasure in heaven? How am I living for heaven here on earth? Would I deny myself any earthly pleasure in order to store up for myself any heavenly treasure? We know God's plan. He has fulfilled it. Now he's asking us to make our own. He wants us to be in heaven. He wants us to be happy. If we want what he wants, we cannot fall, we cannot fail. Because Jesus has already won the war, there's no battle we can't win when we've got him fighting for us.